Welcome back to Terra by the Bay. I'm David. Second reading after the announcement that Joe Biden made that he was no longer running for re-election. Did a reading on that. Now I want to do a reading on the energy around the Republicans. Trump didn't want to run against Biden. Biden's already beaten Trump once. Does this give the Republicans confidence that they can win? Or are they worried about who the Democrats pick next? There was a lot of warning going into from Nikki Haley, of all people, that the Democrats are going to pick somebody younger and Trump's going to be the old guy, and all of Trump's insults, all of his attacks will now be only relevant to Trump. And while the Democrats haven't picked somebody yet, you can rest assured it probably won't be an octogenarian. So all of a sudden, Trump's going to be the drool cup, blabbering 79-year-old whose brain's turning to foam type candidate. Everything's been turned on its ear. How are the Republicans feeling about this now that the Democrats have made their move? Entertainment purposes only. Two of Wands. Okay. Well, this changes everything for them. They were expecting to face off with Joe Biden in 3.5 months, as were many of us expecting this was going to happen. And now they're back to the drawing board as to what are they going to do next. King of Swords. They have tough decisions to make. Now that they understand what's going forward here. Tough decisions to make on their path forward. They've got J.D. Vance in there, who is basically a young Trump, as it were. One of the things that comes to mind, and I don't know who first brought this up, it was years ago. Right now Trump is the Republican nominee. He's accepted the nomination to the Republican Party. What happens if Trump strokes out, has a heart attack, major health event, and, now instead of Biden, the one who's walking around aimlessly talking to invisible parrots in the corner of a room and filling up a drool cup, what if that's Trump that's doing that? And he's no longer viable to run. Is it too late to change the ballots? Or when is it too late to change the ballots? That if you were to vote for Trump and Vance and Trump is not capable of holding the office or has fled the country or something, what happens then? Do you have to have a write-in candidate? Questions to be asked. But that we don't have the answer to. But the Republicans have to now come up with a new strategy. And they're going to have to make some really hard choices here because the Democrats have changed the game in a way that Republicans were not expecting. And now they need to find a new path forward. And calling Kamala Harris Laughing Kamala isn't exactly the game-winning strategy that Trump may think it is. In the past, you have the Lover's card, the agreements. Elon Musk and corporate media turning away from Biden because Biden had the nerve, the audacity to suggest that he was going to raise their taxes. He was going to have a minimum tax that they were going to have to pay to carry their fair share of responsibilities for programs in this country. And uber wealthy people and large corporations, they don't want to pay their fair share in taxes. They are quite happy with the tax system the way it is, where they can get away with paying no taxes. They're quite happy with that and the politicians that they've bought to do that. And because Biden was threatening that, Republican donors, Elon Musk is going to give $45 million to Trump over the next 3 months. Buy Trump's loyalty and give him a bunch of money, which I'm sure Trump is extremely happy about. even though Elon runs a failing electric car company that was going to go bankrupt until Trump gave him some money. And that's a quote from Trump from back in the day. Just really wealthy people, corporations and such, always being in bed with the Republicans. The Democrats have now removed Biden, so maybe that money can flow back to the Democrats. So now the uber wealthy have to decide who's better for their business and their bottom line. Is it Trump with all the deregulation he's promising and an autocracy and an oligarchy, or is it democracy? That's going to be the interesting call, isn't it? Current situation for the Republicans now that Biden has stepped down is the Knight of Cups. In the most wonderful of insincere offers, Mike Johnson was suggesting that Biden should also resign from the presidency as well. You know, Mike Johnson's always got America's best interests in heart. You got to love the guy. The Republicans need to work on a PR campaign now to reach out to voters, to increase their popularity. Because right now their whole campaign was trash Biden on his age. Well, that's been taken off the table. So their strategy's been taken off the table. So now they have to come up with something different. And this was that, take down the rhetoric, be more inclusive Trump that lasted about 20 minutes into his speech before he turned into Donald Trump, because that's just who he is. And they're going to try and ride that for a while, but Trump is Trump. He can't be inclusive. That's the exact opposite of what he is as a person. The overarching energy is the Hierophant. Big government organizations, big organizations and such. The Republicans are going to try, they've got their normal donors. They have to reach out and try and get other large donors or large groups to back them up. That's their next plan. In some ways, like the United Auto Workers, they have to go after these guys to see if they can get them to not support whoever the presumptive Democratic candidate is, since it's no longer Biden. Might even have to weigh even more heavily on the evangelicals because they can't trash on Biden's age. So you've got to sort of shore up. You've got the money guys here. Now you got to shore up your evangelical base to make sure they turn out for the election. The lesson to be learned, the Ten of Cups. They've had their hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. They've had everything. The Republicans have gotten everything they've wanted out of this election cycle so far. They got their favorite candidate, Donald Trump, in there. Joe Biden's dropped out. Things are just turning up. Trump gets an assassination attempt, and I'll put that in air quotes, where his ear is blown off. Oh, excuse me. He has a bandage on it for a wound that apparently didn't require any stitches, despite the number of blood vessels in an ear that probably would require stitches. Everything's coming up rosy for them right now. Maybe they're peaking too soon. But they smell victory. They absolutely smell victory in this decision. In their point of view, the Democrats have handed them a gift. And it's at this point, they're going to view this as it's their election to lose. Not to win, to lose. They think they've got the advantage here because of what the Democrats have done. Will Biden step in? See, the whole thing is you don't know who they're going to name in place of Biden. If you put Kamala Harris in there, is that going to cause the MAGA chuds to come out in force and vote against a black woman? Because heaven forbid you have a black woman in there. What are the Republicans counting on with the Democrats with their candidate? Who do they... I don't even know what the next question is going to be, honestly. How's Donald Trump feeling about this? I'll just go straight to him, since he's now the candidate. How's Trump feeling about Biden dropping out? He's been silent other than trying to come up with an insult, laughing Kamala Harris. Oh, that's just... You're so witty, Donald. Back to 7 years old for you. What's Donald Trump thinking about this? King of Swords. That's the hard decisions that need to be made. Oh, that was the cross card here. Hard decisions need to be made. And offers he doesn't like. Because the devil card. Is my deck upside down? This card's upside down. In this way, the devil's turned up on his head. You know what? I don't think, I will actually read this as a reversal because my deck is usually this way and the card was upside down. The devil's been turned on his head. He didn't expect this. And I think part of it is that Trump, again, he only has a few tactics. And he doesn't have time to... he's not witty enough to change his horse in midstream. He doesn't know what to do with this. I mean, yeah, he'll insult Kamala Harris. I mean, he's just going to insult anybody. But, you can't debate against her. If you go in and get a debate against Kamala Harris, she's going to react very differently than Joe Biden would in a debate. You're not going to be able to fluster her. That's not going to happen. He doesn't know what to do with this. In some ways, it's like he doesn't know how to corrupt her. Biden was easy because Biden was this person with honesty and integrity. So Biden didn't punch back. Kamala Harris punches back. And a bully doesn't like to be punched back. He likes punching bags for opponents. Temperance. In the past, temperance. Trump was looking to avenge his loss to Biden. Oh, this is also going to be hard on Trump because guess what? He lost to Biden. At least Biden was a man, a white male, right? What happens if Kamala Harris is the presidential candidate? He loses to her. He's lost to a black woman. In the past, Trump's been wanting his revenge on Joe Biden to get back. He's been sitting there concocting his schemes to be reelected. His current situation, he's feeling great. Again, just like that other card with the 10 of Cups, everything's been coming up roses for him. The Supreme Court gave him absolute immunity and all his court cases have been stopped, and now his main political rival who beat him in the last election has dropped out, and some assassination attempt happened, and he didn't get killed, and he claims that he got shot through the ear, even though there's no injury to his ear that's visible, and his followers are wearing bandages and shirts that say real men wear diapers. His cult is lined up. He's just feeling great. And the beat moves on. And the Trump train moves on. In some ways, Trump needs to make some severe changes, but he doesn't feel that he needs to. Why should I change? Everything is working out the way I want it to. Star reversed. Again, I don't read reversals. I must have put some cards in upside down. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was showing my brother the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Swords will be upside down in this deck, too. But star reversed. Trump's star is falling. He's got J.D. Vance. This card, the reason why this card is upside down is I had done a 4-carder for my brother when I was doing the J.D. Vance thing. I showed him that you had the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the star card, and the double card. And the double card was upside down, too. He's got J.D. Vance as his VP, and J.D. Vance is just a younger version of Trump. But Trump's health is not good, and it hasn't been good. And although he's peaking now, it's 3.5 months before the election, and things look like they're going to start going. He's peaked too soon. He's reached his apex, and he's going to start dropping down. There's going to be changes. Trump, I can imagine he would wish the election was tomorrow while the Democrats are in disarray. But here's the thing with Trump is that, he's going to charge forward because he's got, he wasn't expecting this, and he doesn't recognize when his stars, just like Biden's star fell, he doesn't recognize that as Biden goes, he goes. So if Biden's out of the race, something's going to happen with Trump that's going to diminish his star too. So I think stuff's coming up for Trump that he's not seeing yet. It's coming quickly. Now, this is tarot. And the idea of quickly is a very nebulous concept, shall we say. So, we only got 3.5 months. So, quickly is going to be in the next 3.5 months. We'll see.